May you eat like this, and it would be conducive to how you can learn and progress on the path of the Dhamma. May you be the one who always be awake. Purify your mind from the deluded aspects of how you perceive things by doing walking meditation and sitting meditation in the first half of the night. In the middle half of the night, may you sleep in the posture of Siha Sayat. It means on your right side with awareness throughout the night. And always have this thought in your mind that whenever the body is ready, you would wake up. And when you wake up in the later part of the night, close to the morning, may you clear your mind from clinging to sleepiness by doing walking meditation and sitting meditation all throughout the last half of the night. So during the early morning, may you do a lot of walking meditation and sitting meditation. This is the advice of the Buddha. In terms of how you practice, may you be aware and mindful. May you be aware when you walk forward and backwards. Be aware when you look to the left and right, when you stretch and bend your limbs, when you wear your robes, when you wear your jivara, sankhati, and your bhadra, your bow. May you be aware when you eat, drink, chew, taste. Be aware when you go to the toilet. Be aware when you stand, walk, sit, lay down, wake up, speak, and be aware when you are still. This is the advice on the practice of awareness. In terms of where you stay, may you be content, be happy in staying in a peaceful and quiet forest, in the caves, on the mountains, in the charnel ground, in the open space, or in an empty hut. Once you come back from alms round, after your meal is finished, may you sit cross-legged, hold your body upright, and remain mindful. Let go of greed, anger, and delusion in the mind. Clear your mind from the hatred and payabhada. Free yourself from laziness and sleepiness. Remain in awareness throughout the day. Clear your mind from the 5 hindrances, which are indulgence in sensual pleasures. That's the first one. The second one is ill will towards others. The third one is agitation of the mind. The fourth one is sleepiness, or sometimes they say sloth and torpor. And the fifth one is doubt. These are the 5 hindrances that once you start to practice developing awareness, this is something that you should learn to see and eventually release and overcome. Once you are able to let go of these 5 hindrances, then remain yourself free from sensual pleasures, free from all the defilements or akusala dhamma. Then remain in this meditation, and it would lead you into the different jhanas. If you remain content with the practice, you start to develop the qualities of the first jhana, the second, the third, and the fourth jhana accordingly. In the end, you would be able to remain your mind in the stability of awareness. Your awareness would be awakened. You would come to the point where your mind and your body is awake, and you feel and you know the whole body, and you know the functioning of the mind with equanimity. This would lead you to be able to let go of both suffering and happiness. Let go of likes and dislikes towards anything that happens in the world. Have the stability of mind to see things as it is. You have this equanimous mind because you see things as they are. So this is the first set of instructions of the teachings from Kanaka Mokkhalana Sutra. Then the Buddha teach other teachings that we have in this monastery. My teacher has compiled. So another occasion the Buddha said, "Look here, bhikkhus. Anyone who is practicing according to this Dhamma and Vinaya, if you have not been able to let go of indulgence in sensual pleasures, you would still have this thirst that is like heat, fire burning you inside because you're craving to the sensual pleasures. And this would make your mind not interested in the actual practice. Your mind would not be moved into the direction of practicing this sati sampajanya or mindfulness and awareness. Another thing is, once you eat food to the full of your capacity, you eat too much. Your body is full of food. Naturally, your body would want to enjoy the pleasures of sleeping and lying down. While you are sleeping, the mind of that bhikkhu would not be able to move towards the practice or the engagement with the development of the sati and sampajanya, the development of awareness and mindfulness. On another occasion, if a bhikkhu practiced this holy life in order to want to gain fame, want to gain leadership towards others, wanting to gain miraculous powers, miracles, wanting to gain praises by others, or wanting to just be seen as a holy person. These are wrong views on how to engage with the practice. And it would lead the mind of that bhikkhu away from this holy life. You would not be content in the actual practice of observing the mind or bhavana. So this is another teaching of the Buddha. Another teaching, the Buddha taught to the monks that once you wake up, once you are awake, may you sit up straight. May you do your walking meditation. What use can you get from indulging in sleepiness? What use would you get from enjoying laying down? Because you all have these defilements in the mind that is hurting you like a disease. You have all different kinds of defilements or kilesas like an arrow hitting you. This is creating you pain and suffering. So if you see this, may you get up, wake up, and do your sitting meditation and walking meditation. May you train your mind so that peace can arise in the mind. May you do this and not let the Mara see that you have been neglected. Be neglecting and not careful. May you be free from this delusion. This is another teaching of the Buddha. And then the Buddha said, may you free yourself from laziness. Like a bow maker, an arrow maker, when he tried to make an arrow, he bend it and keep it bent so that it stays in that shape. So may you practice to train your mind in that way. Train your mind so that it becomes, it behaves according to the Dhamma. Anyone who has trained their mind with diligence, with enthusiasm, would benefit and progress in this holy life, which is the path that leads you out of worldly concerns and able to let go of the defilements and the deeper defilements, which is called Sangyochana, in a sequential level. Anyone who sleeps a lot, eats a lot, would eventually enjoy laying down and rolling side to side because of their laziness. If they behave like that, they are considered stupid. They would often go back to their own places, their hidden corners, and enjoy the sensual pleasures of life. And that would not lead you to any development. Those who are fools would stay sleeping throughout the whole night and enjoy chit-chat or talking, enjoying chatting with each others throughout the whole day. If you behave like that, when would liberation from suffering happen? Any arising of the mental states of the mind or being reborn again and again, this is the cause of continuous suffering. So may you all practice with diligence. Move out, take a step out from your normal ways of life and do the practice. Have enthusiasm in study and learning and meditating in this holy life. May you defeat the Mara. May you break away like a strong person breaking a small piece of wood. Anyone who maintains this practice in the Vinaya and the Dhamma would be able to release themselves from this cycle of suffering. Anyone who is still a fool, practicing this Dhamma and Vinaya, no matter how many nights and days, if you cannot detach yourself or control yourself not to follow the power of thoughts and emotions that arise in the mind, if you keep getting stuck in whatever emotions and thoughts that arise in the mind, if you are still worrying about even the minor things that happens in life, that is not the way to behave according to what happens. So may you act like a turtle, holding, like retreating, pulling its head and legs back into the shell, the shell of the turtle, so that you can observe internally. And greed, anger, and delusion cannot penetrate you. And you don't make ill will towards others. This is the path leading to liberation. Anger is something that is burning us like fire inside. And anger happens because we are neglectful. We are not careful with how we observe the mind. At first, anger is a small thing. It starts off as something small, but eventually it grows after it's being left alone for a long time. And it creates a lot of tension and suffering in the mind. So Anyone who can see the anger for what it is is considered a wise person who doesn't allow anger to be manifested in the mind, whether in the past, present, or future. Anyone who can let go of anger, do not allow anger to overwhelm them, is considered a wise person. And that person would be considered a shamana, or the one who trains himself in the mind. Another sutra, the Buddha talked to the person named Mokkaraja. Mokkaraja asked the Buddha a question, and the Buddha answered that, "Look here, Mokkaraja. May you remain aware and mindful at every moment of your life. See the world for what it is. See the world as empty. Release yourself from believing in this sense of self. Let go of this ego. And by behaving this way, the Lord of Death or Mara would be released and cannot hold you under its power. If you behave relating to the world in this way, this is the way to escape the eyes of the Mara." Anyone who maintains this awareness and mindfulness continuously in all times would be able to let go of clinging to the five skandhas. Let go of the seeing the five skandhas as a self. Because actually, from the five skandhas, there is nothing that is a self. There is nothing that belongs to a self. And there is nothing that a self belongs to in the five skandhas. Once you are able to liberate yourself from clinging to the five skandhas that you used to see as a self, you would be able to overcome the stream of craving or tanha. And this is when the noble path or Ariyamaka, the actual noble path, would be seen and traveled. In another sutra, the Buddha said, form, feeling, memory, mental formations, or consciousness, or rupa, vedana, sanya, sankhara, and vijnana. These are the five skandhas. So the five skandhas, whether they appear in the past, present, or future, whether internally or externally, whether it's coarse or subtle, whether it presents as something good or bad, near or far, all the Arya Sarvaka, or the people, anyone who walks this path that the Buddha has laid out, may you contemplate and see these five skandhas as it is, according to how it truly is in reality. That these five skandhas are not a self, it does not belong to a self, and it does not create a self. If you see the five skandhas like this, you will be able to let go of clinging to this sense of self. Let go of this body and mind that believe everything is real. And you let go of seeing this internally and externally. In another sutra, the Buddha taught an ascetic. His name is Paya. This person came to the Buddha, and the Buddha taught this person in a short teaching, starting with, "Look here, Paya. You suffer because of this. So may you observe and train yourself to see reality as it is. When you see something, may it just be seeing. When you listen to something, may it just be hearing. Whatever you perceive reality, may it be just as it is, purely without any manifesting. And even when you gain realization, may it just be realization. Any time that you can practice this way, that is the time when there is no self. And any time when you have gone beyond yourself, when there is no self, in this world, there would not be a self in the future world. And also there would not be a self in between both worlds. There would not be a self in this world and the next world and anywhere between these two worlds. This is the end of suffering. This is the sutra that the Buddha taught to Pahiya. The Buddha said on another occasion that this Dhamma is so precious and beneficial to everyone that it leads you to the highest good that anyone can achieve. And this Dhamma that the Buddha taught comes down to what we call yoniso manasikara, which is careful introspection, careful contemplation, careful observation. So there is no other Dhamma that is more beneficial than this. So if a bhikkhu start off their mind with very careful introspection, they would be able to achieve the state of nirvana where there is no more suffering. This is the possibility of achievement. Anyone who is stable and is not shaken by whatever happens in the world, that person knows the highs and lows of the world. That person can remain in peace without even the slight smoke of fire, of anger. That person would be free from the strangleness or the confined. That person would be free from the contraction of the mind, free from the suffering of the mind. I would say that person can overcome birth and old age and death. Any bhikkhu who develops their wisdom according to what we have to behave in sila and vatra, so behave according to the Patimoksha Vinaya and behave according to what is told outside of the Patimoksha as the ways of behaving of the monks. That would help that mind to be able to be stable and remain in the jhanas. If you remain in sila and the conduct of the monks, you would be able to remain in samadhi, remain in awareness. And if you eat and engage with worldly pleasures in the right way, it would also lead you to non-clinging. And the result of nirvana would be something that is achievable in this life. And finally, this teaching ends with the Buddha teaching that anyone who can cut away the cycle of samsara, reach the state of nirvana where there is no craving. All craving has ceased, dried out, and cut away. That person would not drift away in this cycle of existence and would not be reborn in this cycle of samsara. The stream of suffering is cut away. That is the end of suffering. So this is the rough translation of all the different sutras that were compiled into this conclusion or short explanation of the path of practice that we in the Buddhist, in this tradition, emphasize in the practice. So this is what we chanted this morning. And at the end of each morning chanting, usually we end with a short chanting that is, we call it roughly that this is the request of the Buddha. So the Buddha said, "Look here, bhikkhus. Whatever duties that I should do to you as a teacher, I have done it fully. Whatever goodness that I can offer you, I have done it fully with the mind of compassion and kindness. Everything that is necessary for your path has been laid out, and I have offered that to you. So look here, there is an empty hut. There is an open space. May you be diligent and not careless. May you practice so that in the future, when you look back at your experience, you do not feel regret. May you fully engage with what I have taught you. This is what I teach you. This is the teaching of the Buddha." So this is the rough translation of what we chanted this morning. And this is how we engage with the morning and evening chanting, that all the chants that we do in this monastery is an instruction on how to practice in this Dhamma and Vinaya of the Buddha.